Sister Mercy's not gay! Not that there's anything wrong with this! Now available in paperback at e-readers, Isis, Dark Incubus. The goddess next door gets enthralled in a romantic entanglement with an evil incubus in this all-new Isis series adventure. Get your copy of Isis, Dark Incubus in paperback and e-readers today.
This comic is rated R for nudity and violence, just like I like it.
Before I get into this review of Sister Mercy number 9, I wanted to give everybody an update on the SJS Direct 2024 catalog. Now, all 3 books of the SJS Direct 2024 catalog, John Haynes' Illuminati, Isis, Dark Incubus, and Esteem Horror in the Hamptons, are now available on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format, and they're also available on Draft2Digital, Google Play, and other online booksellers. And I wanted to give everybody a bit of an update on the SJS Direct 2025 catalog that I'm currently working on. And I've finished Esteem Season of the Witch Girl. That's already been in its first draft and sitting on my hard drive for a while. And I just got to do a sketch up of the cover, and I'll be able to start editing that book for a 2025 release. And the other book that I planned for the SJS Direct 2025 catalog, Spinsterella Goth Girl Summer, well, that book is taking a lot longer than I anticipated. Now, originally I had planned for that project to be a light novel, and I planned for it to be the first SJS Direct book to feature pictures that would show case events in the story. However, that book is going longer than the 50,000 words I originally planned, and we're heading closer to 100,000 words and may even get to the 160,000 word mark before we hit all the plot points of the story outline I had. So, Spinsterella Goth Girl Summer is going a little longer than I anticipated, and I'm hoping to get this first draft of Goth Girl Summer done so I can start doing the Isis and John Haynes books. Now, I've got a plan for the next John Haynes book, which is going to be tentatively titled John Haynes, A Thorn in My Side, and I'm still working out the next Isis series book. So that's what's going on with these books, but I really want to talk about Sister Mercy number 9, because this book is one of the best comics of 2024, if not the best comic of 2024. Now, I got the digital copy of Sister Mercy number 9 during July 4th weekend, and I was basically floored by how fantastic this book is. I mean, this book is one of the best comics I've read this year, if not the best comic I have read this year. I mean, I was basically blown away by this book as related to the action in the just 22 pages. This 22 pages basically will make you a Sister Mercy fan, and it does all the great things a good comic should do, basically picking up on the end of the first story arc and beginning a new story arc. And this new story arc basically is so exciting, I can't wait to share it with you. Now, in the first story arc of Sister Mercy, she was taking on the Black Pope and had a final confrontation with the Black Pope's forces and made a sacrifice to stop the demon of Mammon from being able to enter the world. And that basically ended the first story arc, where we got a nice twist in finding out that Sister Mercy may possibly be in an insane asylum, and all of this might be a delusion in her mind. That's where we got left off with Sister Mercy number 8, which really ended the first story arc on a cliffhanger, but that cliffhanger was just exceptionally well done because it follows the whole paradigm of storytelling as related to endings and beginnings, in ending the story arc with the Black Pope, but opening us up to a new storyline which had us asking a lot of questions regarding Sister Mercy's whole perception of events going on. And that whole series of questions gets elaborated on beautifully in Sister Mercy number 9. Just this book is just so exceptionally well done as related to the execution of storytelling, where we go from the Black Pope being a villain to being introduced to some brand new villains in this issue number 9. And this issue number 9, I mean, it just blew me away with the just complete build-up of the story, where we are wondering if this is the actual reality, showing us how insidious these demonic villains are. I mean, when I was looking at this Sister Mercy comic, and I'll show you a couple of pages, I don't want to give away Corey's work because Corey and Ricardo Silver have done a fantastic job on this book. I mean, the work here that Corey is doing with this writing is just absolutely amazing. I mean, Corey's writing he's really taken it to another level as related to writing and showing us this world, this apocalyptic world of Sister Mercy. But what's more intriguing to me are these villains, man. I mean, these villains, they are a next level evil. I mean, this is the kind of evil I was exploring in Isis Dark Incubus, in that they can manipulate your whole perception of reality and get you to believe lies as the truth. And that's what really builds up here as related to this entire world of Sister Mercy being in this insane asylum. And I don't want to give away too much of this story as related to this whole thing as related to this in Salem Asylum and Welcome to Autumn Gate. But Welcome to Autumn Gate really introduces us to some really, really insidious villains. Some really insidious villains who are, again, as I said before, these are some next level evil bad guys. And these next level evil bad guys basically are doing a head game on Mercy here, just making her whole perception of reality get twisted. And this is the type of demon that, again, is extremely insidious. And as we see her in this insane asylum, they basically have her questioning her whole perception of reality. And the twists and turns in this story, I don't want to give away too much of this comic. Again, I respect Corey's work so much, I just don't want to give it away because he put in, again, a lot of hours on this work in addition to putting in work on his job. And the work he put in on this comic, just blows my mind with how good this comic is. I mean, this comic basically, as I see it, and I've read a lot of comics in my life, and the storytelling here is levels above even most modern Marvel and DC comics. That's how just compelling the storytelling is. And the only bad thing I gotta say about Sister Mercy number 9 is I gotta wait an entire year to pick up Sister Mercy number 10. That's the only bad thing I gotta say about this comic, is that I gotta count down 365 days to find out what happens next after this introduction to this Autumn Gate and the whole series of bad guys in this story. Again, I don't even want to give away too much of this story because these twists and turns, I want you to experience them for yourself. I want you to experience all these twists and turns in the story and see how insidious these bad guys are as related to these new villains that Mercy is taking on. I mean, these new villains are reminding me of kind of demons that I wrote in Dark Incubus, in that they really put a number on Sister Mercy's mind. I mean, when I wrote Dark Incubus and I had Keith the Incubus, again, putting Isis through her paces, that's what it just was really, again, showed how evil these demons are. And I did the same thing with Dark Succubus, showing how evil these demons are. And Corey does the same thing here with Mercy and these demons. And I love the psychological twists and turns in this story. I mean, everything here just came together and was executed so well. I mean, this is how you pick up for a second story arc. I mean, with a second story arc, this is where you start further expanding your world, further developing your characters, and picking up where you left off at the end of the first story arc, and you start really building that momentum. And as I look at this story, they're really building up on that momentum of the whole Black Pope story arc, and now we're entering into a new phase of villains. a new phase of villains which will provide a great challenge for Sister Mercy to overcome. And I definitely want to be there for the ride for this whole second story arc, which is starting off with a strong opening. I mean, that's the thing that I really like about this book, is that we're starting out with a nice, strong opening first issue of the second story arc that builds up on the previous 8 issues, builds up on that story arc, and starts to really start to move this story in a faster pace, and gets me really excited as related to that next issue. I mean, I'm just counting down the days up till 2025 when I can put in my pledge for Sister Mercy number 10, because Sister Mercy number 9 just, again, blew me away. I mean, blew me away, because this right here is next level storytelling, next level as related to, again, even being better than anything I've seen in Marvel and DC so far. I mean, if Marvel and DC had Corey on their staff and he was able to write like this for them, they would be selling 6 figures of comics, and this is why Corey is doing so well with Sister Mercy. And based on what I'm seeing in this comic, I could easily see this being a setup for season 2 of Sister Mercy. If it was a TV series or a Netflix show, I could see this really setting up, and this one would basically wind up crashing the server. And I'm wondering, when are we going to get the Sister Mercy action figure? Because, again, this concept is so good. It's just getting better and better with each issue. And this is the kind of comic that I want to bring to the channel, again, because this is just really good, great storytelling. And yes, it's rated R for nudity and violence. And that's another reason why I can't show you too much, because there's some nudity and some violence and a bit of adult content, but I can't. But again, the storytelling here it's so good. Again, it reminds me of the R-rated 80s movies I used to watch, and I'm so floored by this comic that I really can't wait to get more of this comic to share with people. And I highly recommend you go out here and pick up your copy of Sister Mercy number 9 if you haven't picked it up from the Kickstarter. And I'm wondering if Corey is going to be able to put together some kind of thing like I did for the John Haynes at Death Store, so that people can just order these comics and have them dropped to their doorstep after a Kickstarter, or if he's going to do backlists as related to the Kickstarter. But with a lot of indie creators who have great comics, we really do need some sort of service so that they can get comics to everybody every year, because good books like this, basically, they need to be able to be available to readers so that they can pick up where they left off and be able to come in as related to entry points. And Sister Mercy, if you missed the first 8 issues, you definitely can easily enter the story with this 9th issue, which opens up the second story arc. So this is a book that definitely is one you can use as a gateway book to the Sister Mercy saga and go back, and you can also read it and go forward. And I, again, highly recommend you pick up Sister Mercy number 9. Number 9 is a book that is one of the best comics I've read all year, and possibly the best comic of the year. Now, if you want to pick up my first full comic, John Haynes at Death Store, you can find John Haynes at Death Store at Lulu.com in paperback for the same price as it is on the 2022 Kickstarter. Now, I'm trying to get that book to Amazon. I have the digital file ready, but the whole thing is the paper copy is becoming a bit of a nightmare for Amazon. I can't really get the formatting straight, but I'm trying to get that book to Amazon so more people can pick it up. And I'm hoping to get that out soon. But until then, you can get at Death Store on Lulu right now. And you can also pick up other great SJS Direct books in the SJS Direct universe, like the ISIS series, the Steam series, the John Haynes series, and the books of the Spinsterella trilogy on Amazon right now as related to books in paperback. And you can also find them in Kindle format and on digital format at other platforms like Draft Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and big box retailers like Walmart and Target. And if you'd like to help me be able to make the next SJS Direct Universe comic, or help me to be able to buy more great comics like Corey Hardiman's Sister Mercy, and be able to review them on the channel and share them with viewers, you can send a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Now available in paperback and e-readers, Isis, Amari's Revenge. The goddess next door is confronted by a Nubian queen out for revenge at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in this inaugural Isis series adventure. Get your copy of Isis, Amari's Revenge in paperback and e-readers at Amazon.com and online booksellers everywhere. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Esteem Horror in the Hamptons. The aspiring angel tries to escape a house of horrors in this action-packed, all-new Esteem series adventure. Get your copy of Esteem Horror in the Hamptons in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers everywhere. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.